Hey everyone, welcome back with Beano Mac. Today is the start of our reviews of the legendary wrestling games made famous by the beloved Aki Corporation. While they are unfortunately gone today, they are still the biggest legends in the wrestling game industry to many, including myself. Our first review is going to be WCW vs nWo World Tour. This game first saw release on December 2nd, 1997, but before we get into it, remember to like and subscribe to the channel if you look forward to seeing more Aki content every Sunday, including, but not limited to, more reviews, playthroughs, comparisons, and even more different types of content. Daily content on the channel, so make sure to ring the bell to be notified. Now let's get into it. Now, WCW vs nWo certainly has an interesting roster. You have a limited number of actual World Championship Wrestling talent. However, there's WCW superstars at the time, including Lex Luger, Sting, The Giant, the Steiner Brothers, Rick and Scott, Ric Flair, Steven Regal, and some WCW cruiserweights such as Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, Rey Mysterio when he was still a junior, Ultimo Dragon, and Eddie Guerrero. On the nWo side of things, we have Hollywood Hogan, the Fake Sting, Buff Bagwell, Eric Bischoff, Scott Norton, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and their buddy Six, also known as X-Pac in the WWF at the time. This game was made in conjunction with the Japanese exclusive Virtual Pro Wrestling 64, and that had a direct impact on the roster. So in addition to the WCW talent, we also have Dead or Alive Wrestling and the Independent Union. These are Japanese wrestlers that were unlicensed for this game, however, so names and appearances were changed, but movesets are mostly left intact, I believe. Now, this is the first game to feature the classic Aki gameplay that would become legendary. However, they didn't figure it out fully at this time. Now, to start off, B is to strike and hold it down to initiate stronger strikes. A is to grapple, and just like the strikes, you can hold down A to initiate strong grapples, but they are easier to reverse. Once in a grapple, you can either press A, B, or you can press A or B in conjunction with one of the directional inputs. In this game, it was limited to A up, A down, or B up and B down. You have 4 options for back grapples. You have A, B, or you can press one of those 2 buttons with any direction. Press C down to immediately run at your opponent. While running, you can also choose a direction to unleash a stronger running attack. If you grapple your opponent first and hit the run button, you can also throw them into the ropes and hit them with an Irish whip rebound with a strike or a grapple. Press R to reverse a strike, or hold it to block an incoming strike that you can see. On the ground, R also picks up your opponent. L lets you slide away while avoiding grapples, but it usually doesn't allow you to dodge strikes. You can also attack opponents in the turnbuckle, fly off the top rope, or over the ropes towards your opponent either on the outside of the ring or back inside the ring. Lastly, it's important to know the differences from later entries. C up by the barricade will net you a weapon in this game instead of C right in later entries. L will drag your opponents on the ground in this game instead of pinning, as that button is now C down, the same as the run button. Other small details that we take for granted that's removed in the game is the ability to run inside the ring from the outside, run with the weapons, take them inside the ring, and even simply going from front-facing grapples to back grapples seamlessly. Now, I know that was a long explanation, but now that y'all understand the gameplay, I can focus on things they improve from game to game. This game starts off with energy straight from the get-go. There's a certain charm to the humble beginnings of this game's controls, and the cartoony graphics, paired with the fighting game-like soundtrack, has always bumped this game up in presentation for me personally, I have to say. There is a clear love shown from the beginning, including the intro that uses real-time graphics to produce the visuals that we see. The main menu showing the ring surrounded by smoke ominously waiting for you to choose your mode to enter the squared circle is amazing. One of the best menus in a wrestling game, hands down. The arenas in this game are also more based on Japanese wrestling stadiums, where the ring is all that really matters. No big entrances, no stages, no big themed events, just a colorful ring inside of the dome. These are some of my favorite arena designs in the games, however, because of the uniqueness of these settings. WCW has the classic blue mat of the 90s with some alterations. The nWo also have their own arena in a similar design to the 1997 Sold Out. Dead or Alive is my least favorite, but that's just because I don't really like the colors personally. The Independent Union arena is by far the best though. I love the ring design, the logo, even the fact that the outside of the ring is wood paneling. It sets itself apart from the rest, living up to its name. To cap off the section, the game's presentation is one of my absolute favorites, since you can actually see the passion that they had and it's poured into every facet of this game. The first mode is a team battle game similar to fighting games such as Tekken or Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Squad Strike. You choose either WCW or nWo to play as, or you can simply watch. You choose up to 5 WCW wrestlers, and that's 5 nWo wrestlers, and decide on the order of who fights first. You have one-on-one matches. Whoever loses is eliminated, and the next partner on their team steps in to try and take down the opposition in their place as shown here. If there is a draw, then both wrestlers are eliminated simultaneously. Once one team's individuals have all been eliminated, the game ends. Simple, but the mode makes sense in this game, and while I didn't play it too much, it was still a fun concept. This concept would somewhat return in later entries with the Team Battle Royal modes in WrestleMania 2000 and WWF No Mercy. Exhibition mode was the bulk of the multiplayer back in my day. You can choose from single one-on-one matches, 2-on-2 tag team matches, 2-on-1 handicap matches, and 4-man elimination style battle royals. In team matches and handicap matches, this is the only American Aki game in the series to allow you to choose the elimination option, which is really sad as it adds a lot of replay value for such a small addition. Challenge is the single-player campaign mode of World Tour. It's a simple arcade fighting game-like mode where you choose which promotion's belts you want to chase and defeat all contenders on your way to becoming the champion. This is how you unlock all of the secret characters in the game, including DDP, who represents WCW, Macho Man Randy Savage for the nWo. Despite being WCW wrestlers, the unlockables for Dead or Alive Wrestling is Wrath, and Glacier is the unlockable for the Independent Union. Once you earn all heavyweight title belts, you can go for the Super Heavyweight Championship and face Joe Bruiser the Boxer, who is based off of Muhammad Ali, a very unique individual since he cannot be Irish whipped and uses exclusively strikes. Earning all cruiserweight titles nets you the Super Cruiserweight path, and you face the Joshi legend Manami Toyota, the only female wrestler in this game. You only need to finish one title per promotion to unlock the characters, so there isn't any real reason to even touch the tag titles, as there's no incentive to do so, which is very sad. Overall, I feel like this mode isn't too bad until you play the whole World Wrestling title pass, but you could finish the game in a little over a day. So this mode isn't anything special, but it's still a decent time waster. This is a Japanese wrestling style round robin tournament. Up to 8 wrestlers or teams compete and they all take turns fighting each other. 3 points for a victory, 1 point for a draw, and no points for a loss. The individual or team with the most points at the end wins. If someone definitively wins early, then the game gives you the option of ending the tournament early so you don't have to waste any unnecessary time. Like I said, this is more of a Japanese wrestling thing and left in because of the simultaneous development of Virtual Pro, but still a neat addition, and maybe someone will make an AEW mod that takes advantage of this mode. The final mode in this game is a simple tournament of up to 8 wrestlers or teams for a single elimination tournament. Win all matches to win the tournament, it's really that simple. This would return in later games as well as mostly unchanged, but I never found myself playing this mode in World Tour. My final thoughts on this game are still overwhelmingly positive. The simplest form of the Aki series is still better than most wrestling games today because of the foundation of the gameplay. even if it's missing some of the features and quality of life improvements later games would add. I would have to rate this game a 7.5 out of 10, and its graphics and fighting game presentation will always set it apart for me from other Aki wrestling games. But you let me know in the comments. Am I just nostalgia blind? Do you agree with me? And what will you rate this game? Please, for the love of God, let me know in the comments section. I am thirsty for opinions, and you fine folks are my lifeline. As always, like and subscribe for daily content. Aki content is every Sunday, so ring the bell to be notified, and remember to have a nice day. Once you earn all heavyweight belts, you can go for the Super Heavyweight Championship and face Drew Bruiser, yeah, what the fuck.